What's going on, guys? How we all doing on this fine Saturday evening? Hope you guys are doing well for yourselves. Real quick, just one note before we get into the video. Over on my YouTube channel, we did a fun stream last night. I gotta shout these out because YouTube is shadow banning live streams. They actually got back to me on Twitter and told me why. It has to do with COVID and them just not having enough people on staff. So I gotta shout these out by myself because the algorithm hides these. They hide these from sub feeds and all types of stuff. But yeah, we did a podcast last night. It was fun. Aiden was there. Nick was there. It was a good time. So go check that out. All right, let's begin video. So last night, Keemstar was talking on DramaAlert. Was talking about the future, and he said some stuff that I kind of already knew. I mean, everybody I think knew this. You know, at some point, Keemstar was going to have to step away from the business. And if you think this isn't that big of a deal, well, you know, consider this. I mean, Keemstar, like him or not, he's been a legendary figure in the YouTube game for about a decade now. And especially, I'd say, in the last 5 years, you know, starting in 2015 when DramaAlert really took off, you know, Keemstar has definitely been an established figure. He's been the central force in a lot of these drama stories, and well, you know, he's just kind of been that one character that, you know, everybody, no matter, like, what parts of the internet that they reside on, you know, they know who Keemstar is, and they've talked about him at one point or another. And to see a YouTube without Keemstar, well, that would be kind of interesting, because, you know, Keemstar, you know, suddenly leaving, or, you know, giving DramaAlert to someone else and taking a step back from the central stage, that would be significant on YouTube for a multitude of reasons, but I'm rambling. Let's listen to Keemstar and what he had to say.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our final story. Myself, Keemstar, DramaAlert. We need to have a talk, okay? A couple days ago, I uploaded a video talking about Charlie and Little Huddy's relationship. These are two TikTokers. Charlie's 16, Little Huddy's like 18. And well, there were many comments calling me a weirdo. This person said a 40-year-old man is reporting on teens dating. Guy's a weirdo! This other person said, imagine being 40 years old and talking about teenagers' relationships. And another person said, this dude talking about TikTok is so cringe. This dude is 40 years old, man. Okay.
Yeah, and I understand these types of comments. It was actually a comment we had made against I'm Alex. When Alex, he had made this really cringy tweet talking about one of the, like, two underage TikTok stars, you know, breaking up and how heartbroken he was by it. Obviously a joke, but still, it was just kind of funny to see him, you know, unironically make a tweet about two kids breaking up on the internet, which is pretty cringe. And it's a lot more cringe when Keemstar, you know, is talking about it on DramaAlert, considering he's a 40-year-old man reporting on the gossip and drama of children on social media. I mean, come on now. That's just pretty fucking weird. And he goes on to agree with that, actually, and that's kind of, you know, where he sets up the whole topic of him potentially leaving just because it's, you know, he's kind of outgrowing the drama scene or whatever. I will say this, though. In fairness to Keem, you know, it is, you know, his job to talk about what's going on, and if there's drama with kids or whatever, he's got to talk about that, right? Like, I don't know if that's creepy, but I understand it from his end too, right? Because on his end, he's like, what am I doing? I am a 40-year-old, he's not 40 yet, but I'm going to be a 40-year-old man whose job is going to be talking about children relationships, because you know that's the future of, you know, the industry or drama or whatever on YouTube. It's gonna get younger and younger and younger. It's gonna be more about kids. I mean, a few years ago, it was only college-age people getting into fights. Now it's kids. You know, you can see where it's gonna go down the line. And, you know, Keem's just kind of looking to the future and being like, hey, man, I'm gonna be an old man whose job is to be talking about this. That's kind of weird, kind of pathetic. And to some extent, I do agree with him, actually, on that. Even I have felt the same way in a way. You know, obviously I'm much younger than Keem. Significantly, I'm, you know, about to turn 19 in a week or whatever. But there were some stories that I was talking about a few months ago. I think it was like more like the makeup stuff or whatever, which I don't like covering that stuff anyway, just because it's boring and petty and cringe to me. But sometimes that's in the news. You can't control, like, what's happening, or sometimes it's things that come from that community that are the setup for a much more interesting story arc or narrative or drama situation. But I still am like, dude, I'm gonna be like 19 and I'm talking about, like, this shit, you know what I mean? Like, obviously it's much more different for me because I'm much younger than Keem, but the fact that I feel that on some level should tell you what Keemstar is feeling, you know, when he's like literally like got gray hairs in his beard talking about this stuff. He's probably just like, okay, come on, man, this is just... And it goes to show, you know, the change of times too, because again, 4 years ago, you know, the drama world, or the, you know, the scene or whatever, the industry largely revolved around teenagers to young adults beefing and getting into some dumb stupid shit or whatever. And now it's become more kids. And if you look why, you know, why that is, like why the demographic, the age base has changed over the past few years, it's because the whole Jake Paul and Vine, it's because of that stuff. Because Vine ended in 2017, and all the Vine stars who were making bank over there, they had to go to the next best thing, and so they went to YouTube, and they brought their audiences with them, you know, and then that's when Jake Paul's blew up with the Everyday Bro video, and he had all of his buddies doing vlog channels too, and they brought this massive audience onto YouTube. That was kids, and it was kids on mobile. Actually, in 2016, most of the people, if you looked at your analytics, most of the people that were watching you on PC. And then after 2017, they started watching on mobile. They started watching on smartphone. It's because the younger demographic came, and with them came changes to the platform. Suddenly, the top drama stories were, instead of talking about BuzzFeed and SJWs and stuff like that, it was talking about Jake Paul and his cringy fan base and the cringy stuff they did. And with that, brought in a fan base of the kids who were, you know, the edgelords who were like, I don't like Jake Paul, I don't like all these Vine people, I'm gonna start watching commentaries. So naturally, the age base of this whole thing went down significantly from, you know, college age people to teenagers, young teenagers. And the people who were covering drama like Keemstar, like, they had to adapt to fit the changing times. And that meant talking about children drama or makeup drama or stuff like that. And that's what Keemstar's saying is, like, I'm an old man. Like, like, this is weird to be talking about stuff like this. And I mean, we all saw this coming, I think, but, you know, it's kind of just, he's hit this sudden realization that this can't go on forever. At some point, you're going to have to move on. Let's keep listening.
Time out. Let's have a talk about this, all right? I'm not 40, but I'm going to be 40 soon. I'm 38 years old. And these guys are right. Me talking about TikTokers and these underage relationships and stuff is cringe, and it is weird. And they're not wrong. But what exactly could I do about it? I can't reverse my age. Trust me, I tried. I've talked to some scientists. I've been trying to get in there, maybe use some CRISPR, change the DNA to make myself younger. Just the technology's not there yet. And I absolutely have to cover these stories because that's what my fans want. Now, I know many of you on YouTube don't.
When he says he's looking into reversing his age, I actually believe that. I feel like he would be that type of guy.
Want this, but DramaAlert is also uploaded to Snapchat, and those fans do want that content. So listen.
That's the other thing. He's come in my chats and told me before that, like, he makes like 5 times the amount of money on Snapchat that he does on YouTube. And, you know, with the YouTube partner program taking him off for a couple weeks or whatever, I mean, the money's in Snapchat. And you know who's using Snapchat? Not me. Not me. Kids. It's young kids. And that's really the type of audience that would crave that type of stuff. It's a completely different world now than it was 3 years ago on YouTube, or 4 years ago. So Keem goes on to say that he's going to be looking into a temporary host for DramaAlert and stuff like that, which is all, you know, it's what you got to do at some point. He goes on to say that he's never going to actually leave YouTube. He's probably going to do something else after that happens, and, you know, that would make sense. I don't think Keemstar, you know, he's not really somebody who's in it for the money. I think he just gets a kick out of it, and to take that away from him, he would probably just get really, really bored. He doesn't strike me as the type of guy who's, like, ready to retire at any, you know, moment, because then what would we have left? Anyway, that's all I got, guys. My name's AlgurFC. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, turn notifications when I'm live. We go live just about every day, usually. I'll catch you guys later, everyone. Peace out.